Rubika, but this is number 2, Boraceva, Jimmy Frost. 3, Big Sun, Richard Dunwoody. 4, What's the Crack, Bruce Darling. 5, Ace of Spies, Declan Murphy. 6, Topsham Bay, ridden by Hywel Davies. 7, Royal Battery, Roddy Green. 8, Rubika, Mark Perrott. Anthony Tory, I should say, on Rubika. 9 is Just So, ridden by Simon Burrough. 10, Pampering, Carl Llewellyn. And 11, Honeybee Mead, ridden by Nicky Mann. And Just So, Simon Burrough putting up 3 pounds overweight. Here's how they bet.
Big Sun, the 100 to 30 favourite. What's the Crack, 4 to 1. Royal Battery 5s. Ace of Spies 6 to 1. Boraceva 7s, also Rubika. Topsham Bay 9. Just So 20 to 1. Honeybee Mead, which opened at 50, has gone out to 66 to 1, where it joins Pampering.
No less than 27 fences to be jumped this time under orders. Just So turns. That's it, they're away. Honeymead Bear just dwells slightly. Big Sun right up there with Pampering and Just So, and Topsham Bay as they come to the first. And they're all safely over it. Royal Battery right up with them too. Big Sun, Topsham Bay, Royal Battery, Rubika on the outside. Ace of Spies jumped it just last. Topsham Bay, Rubika, Royal Battery, Big Sun at the third. What's the Crack? Just in behind them, or in fact going right up to join them now. What's the Crack on the inside? Quite a long run towards the next. What's the Crack on the inside of Topsham Bay? Royal Battery and Big Sun right up with these. Then Pampering and Rubika. Big Sun and Topsham Bay, and What's the Crack on the far side, and Rubika, not a lot between them. And up with them, Royal Battery. Royal Battery towards the left of the picture as we see them jump the fifth. Topsham Bay landed in the lead from Big Sun and What's the Crack and Royal Battery, and then Rubika behind them. Then Pampering and Just So. Behind them, Honeymead Bear, Boraceva, Ace of Spies, just the back marker. Topsham Bay and Royal Battery. These two from Big Sun and What's the Crack and Rubika. Pampering and Just So and Honeymead Bear. Over the seventh, Topsham Bay jumping big and beautifully from Royal Battery. Big Sun on the far side, Rubika and What's the Crack and Just So and Pampering and Honeymead Bear. And then Ace of Spies just relegating Boraceva to last place. Last of the 10 runners in the absence of a Murta in this A.S.W. handicap chase. Coming down to the 8th. Topsham Bay, Big Sun on the inside there. Just marginally shades in. Rubika on the far side. These followed by What's the Crack as they come down to the water. Topsham Bay on the near side. Big Sun. Rubika right up with them over this ditch. Honeybee Mead has jumped up just in behind the lead too. Over the 11th, Topsham Bay, Rubika and Big Sun from Honeybee Mead and Royal Battery on the outside. Boraceva's the back marker, and they race towards the second of the ditches with Topsham Bay, Rubika and Big Sun from What's the Crack, Honeybee Mead, and then on the inside Just So, and Royal Battery over the second ditch. Pampering is next, and then Boraceva. Ace of Spies is just the back marker. The 13th now. Topsham Bay. Rubika, Bigson, and What's the Crack? These are the quartet ahead of Just So and Honey Bear Mead. Over the 14th, Topsham Bay. Bigson, a bad mistake there. Rubika disputing it with Topsham Bay, and then What's the Crack, as Bigson has lost quite a bit of ground through that mistake. Over the 15th, Rubika and Topsham Bay together from What's the Crack and Royal Battery and Honey Bear Mead. Behind them come Just So, then Pampering, Boraceva, Ace of Spies and Big Sun. As they jump the next, Rubika and Topsham Bay together from What's the Crack. Coming to the 17th now, be the last on the next circuit. Rubika, Topsham Bay and What's the Crack. Boraceva's made good ground. Honey Bear Mead well in contention. Just So on the far side. Ace of Spies back in rear once again, as they've got 10 left to jump. Rubika on the outside of What's the Crack. Topsham Bay has lost a little bit of ground. Just So has made it on the inside. Then Boraceva on the outer, running strongly. Honey Bear Mead and Pampering. Big Sun getting back into the picture now. Rubika over the 18th from Honey Bear Mead and What's the Crack. Just So on the inner. Topsham Bay on the outer, getting right back into it as they come down to the water. What's the Crack on the near side. Rubika and Topsham Bay on the outer. Honey Bear Mead and Just So. Coming to the third of the ditches now. Rubika. Topsham Bay on the outer. What's the Crack on the inner. Just So. Honey Bear Mead. 7 from home. Rubika. Topsham Bay on the outer. What's the Crack on the inner. Racing towards the final ditch now. 6 from home, and What's the Crack is the leader from Rubika. Pampering comes next. Ace of Spies improving right up into 4th place now as they jump that ditch. Racing to the top of the hill. What's the Crack? Rubika, Topsham Bay, Ace of Spies on the inner. 5 from home. Beginning the run downhill. What's the Crack? Rubika. Royal Battery getting into it with Topsham Bay and Ace of Spies on the inside, and then Pampering, then Honey Bear Mead. Racing to the next. 4 from home. What's the Crack? Landed in the lead there. Mistake there by Boraceva, and a bad one. And it's What's the Crack, the leader from Rubika and Pampering now as they run down towards the next. 3 from home. What's the Crack towards the right of the picture. Rubika. Honey Bear Mead and Royal Battery towards the far left of the picture. What's the Crack? And Bruce Darling with the advantage from Rubika. Rubika with his white face coming to take it off him marginally now. Honey Bear Mead challenging Rubika as they round this home turn now with 2 fences left to jump in the A.S.W. handicap chase. Rubika from Honey Bear Mead. Boraceva getting right back into it. What's the Crack over on the far side, and Royal Battery on the near side. Honey Bear Mead landed just in the lead from Rubika, but here comes Royal Battery on the near side. Royal Battery under Roddy Green on the near side. Rubika on the far side. Honey Bear Mead, then Royal Battery as they jump the last, and Rubika puts in quite the best jump there, and as they race up the hill into the closing stages, it's Rubika going away from Honey Bear Mead now. Rubika is going to win this as they come to the line. Rubika is the winner. Hywel Mead is second. It's going to be close for third, with Boraceva just hanging on to be third ahead of Pampering, with What's the Crack next, followed by Royal Battery, and then Ace of Spies and Just So and Topsham Bay. And so the result of this A.S.W. handicap chase: first, number 8, Rubika, owned by Mr. Trevor Hemmings, trained by Stan Mellor. It's his first of the season. Well done, Stan. And ridden by Anthony Tory. Second was number 11, Hywel Mead, owned by Mr. John Ryle, trained by him and ridden by Nicky Mann. And officially it's a photo of a third between number 2, Boraceva, and number 10, Pampering.
And at Cheltenham, the 155, first number 8, Rubika, 15-2. Second number 11, Hywel Mead, 100-1. And third number 2, Boraceva at 8-1. Number 3, Bigson was the 3-1 favourite. Non-runner 1 and 10 rounds.